Excellent.
Hi, I'm Neil, and I'm in England. I'm down in Hampshire, but I operate out of Mayfair. But
Love Mayfair.
I'm not there at the moment.
I'm Sheltut, and I'm in Birmingham. So it's a pleasure meeting with you all.
Hi.
Very nice to meet with you. How many people are expected to come on today?
Okay, great. So we're expecting a whole lot of people, but regardless, it's going to be recorded, and it's going to be on Facebook Live. So once again, Sue, can you just get your video on? It's 4 o'clock.
Yes, hold on 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. Steve. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Okay, there you are. Can you see me?
I can. It's a nice picture.
We can see you.
You're not on the one. That's it. Don't hit leave. Nobody's here. Oh, yeah, they're all here. Okay. Hello.
Okay, yeah, super. We can see you.
Oh, wait.
Perfect.
They're on some type of headphones. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, see you.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, nice to see you all. Hello.
Great. So I'm just going to introduce you. So thank you all for being here. It's 4:01 in London, and I think it's at 11 o'clock in New York. So is that right?
Yes, 11 o'clock in New York, exactly.
Perfect. So today's webinar is all about the perfume fragrances industry, and we at Fashionablyin, we're a trade show platform, B2B platform. We connect people in all industries which are connected to fashion and lifestyle. Every week we do different webinars, and our whole idea is to connect people. We've been doing our shows in London for many years. Long Hair has been to a couple of our shows as well. It's really sad. I'm just crossing our fingers that we start our physical shows again. So we do them in central London. We've doing them in all different parts for many years. And till then, we're going to just make the most of B2B and virtual, connecting people globally, because that's what we do best. So, every week we touch on a different subject. We find interesting people that we can all get together at the same place. Once again, just remember, you can introduce yourself at any time. It's casual, it's fun, it's interactive, and that's what makes it fun. The most important thing about today is that we want people to get something, take back home something, get some connections, make friends, make new, and hopefully maybe some business opportunities, So we're just going to start with Sue right now, who's an expert in the field of perfumes, and is going to tell us more about her journey and how she got into it, and everything that she sees with trends, forecasts, and everything about the industry. So before we start, is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves or just say a few words?
Hello, my name is Omika Handy. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a Fashionablyin agent and a fashion designer. Pleased to meet you, Miss Sue, and the rest of the audience. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming on and saying hello. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Else? Please don't be shy.
Now, hello. This is Sheltut, and I work for Odifris. We launched it in November 2019, and we work in the one-drop perfume business and the retail tech. Also, we have another company specializes with retail tech. It's a new idea that can distribute perfumes, tested and sell it without. It's not a sort of vending machine. It uses AI and machine learning. So it's something very interesting, and we work from the UK.
Welcome, nice to meet you.
Okay, super. So let's start. Sue, let's start, and then anyone wants to ask any questions, please don't be shy, and you know, just let's make it interactive and interesting for everyone. Thank you so much. Sue, please start and tell us more about your journey.
Well, my journey has been quite a long one. I'm originally from South Africa. I came to New York in, if I tell you, in 1977. I wanted to pursue a career in acting and theater. And at that time, they said there were too many out-of-work singers and actresses. So I'd always loved fragrance. And I landed up actually getting a position at Elizabeth Arden as the National Training Director. And because I was able to be comfortable to stand up in front of people and talk, they thought I'd be very good in training. And so I became the National Training Director at Elizabeth Arden for fragrance. And I learned about fragrance basically on the job. They felt that if anybody was going to be in the field, they had to understand the personal communications to the customer. And so learning how to talk to people, learning how to talk about fragrance and how to encourage them to love fragrance was the job that I had to do. And I landed up eventually traveling around America, setting up training schools for all the big stores to train their field personnel. And then from there, I went to Lancome as marketing director, and then from there to Tiffany as vice president of marketing. And I developed the first Tiffany perfume for their 150th anniversary. It would be very interesting to know, all of you, if you put in the chat, if you remember the Tiffany perfume. It was in the blue box, a beautiful Tiffany perfume. So it'd be nice to see that. And then from there, I had my daughter and I started my own consulting company called Centerprises. And I created fragrances for Burberry, for Trish McEvoy, for Avon, for Lancaster. And in 2008, when the economy changed, I had to reinvent myself, and I started thinking about custom fragrances. And at the time, most Americans didn't know what the term bespoke meant. It's really a typical, oh yes, somebody remembers the Tiffany. Oh good, Sophia, thank you for that. Sophia remembers the Tiffany perfume. How many of you remembered a fragrance that I developed called Burberry, Society by Burberry? It wasn't very long-lived, but oh, Sophia, good girl, thank you. And then how many of you know about Trish McEvoy? I developed her fragrances too. Sophia, where are you? Anyway, so then, yes, you did. Thank you. Oh, we have to meet, Sophia. I know that you're in New York. We have to meet. So I started thinking about custom fragrances. And as I was saying, the term bespoke wasn't a familiar term to most Americans. For those of you who are in Europe and who are in Britain, you would know the term bespoke. It really relates to originally clothing, men's tailoring. So bespoke clothing meant custom-made clothing, and it usually referred to men. And the idea was, oh yes, I will leave my contact. Thank you, Ashel. So a lot of, I started thinking about custom fragrances. In other words, people really wanted to create custom fragrances. Now in the late 80s and 90s and the 2000s, everything was about designer fragrances, then celebrity fragrances. And then suddenly there was the sort of return to the classic niche fragrances. At the time of the millennium in 2000, everything went back to the Chanels, the Arpège, the really wonderful classic fragrances, Shalimar and so on. And I felt that a new trend was going to emerge, and in fact it did, which is all about customization. So as you all know, customization is such a big trend right now, and all of us are having our own brand. We're on Instagram, we're on Zoom, we're on Clubhouse, we're in, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We all, how we look and how we sound, we are reflecting our own brand, our own scent, our own persona. So I always say to people, why wear what everybody else wears when you can create your own? So I have developed a custom fragrance initiative that I started almost 12 years ago in New York. I had a beautiful perfume studio called the Centarium in Manhattan, and I was there for about 11 years, and we just had to close last year because of the pandemic, and they were selling the building. So now I have a new lovely studio right near where I live on the Upper East Side. And I took the year of the pandemic to write a book. So here's my book. It's called The Power of Perfume, How to Choose It, Wear It, and Enjoy It. And it's available online at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I'm very excited to have this. Yes, I would love you to buy the book. And if you buy it, Sophia, and we meet, bring it, and then I would be happy to autograph it for you. If you buy it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, I can't sign it for you because obviously it's going to be shipped from Amazon. But if you purchase it, and hopefully we'll make an appointment to meet, I'd be thrilled to sign it for you. So it's called The Power of Perfume, How to Choose It, Wear It, and Enjoy It. And I think you would all like it because it's really a history of fragrance in a very fun, interesting, informative way. I talk about the history of fragrance through the decades, how to choose it, how to wear it, the difference between perfume, eau de parfum, eau de toilette, and eau de cologne. I talk about the difference between men's fragrances and women's fragrances and why so many people think men only wear cologne and women only wear perfume, which is not true. And I think it's a fun, interesting read. Plus, it has a lot of pictures of some of the celebrities that I've worked with. For instance, Jamie Foxx and Katie Holmes, Zendaya, Susan Sarandon. So there are a lot of lovely pictures there. But I think the overarching thing that is in the book is my power and my passion for the power of perfume. And interestingly enough, in the last 2 weeks, there has been such an interest in the loss of sense of smell and sense of taste because of COVID. And I cannot tell you how many people have now contacted me to say, Sue, I've lost my sense of smell through COVID. Can you help me? I am very fortunate and I'm very blessed to say that I've been able to help many people regain their sense of smell. I don't know how I do it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a perfumer. I'm a fragrance expert because I've been in the fragrance field for so long. But if you Google my name and you look at COVID victims who've lost their sense of smell, you'll see an NBC television, you'll see Inside Edition. There are so many articles that have been written right now about people who've lost their sense of smell and taste, and I've been able to help them. So that's my journey in a nutshell. It's taken 43 years to get here. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm so grateful for you guys inviting me on here today, and I would love to hear from all of you. If you would like to be in touch with me, my website, I have 3 websites, but centerprises.com and suephillips.com. I'm on Clubhouse under Centrally Sue. Oh, thank you, Sophia. I hope you enjoy it. Please be in touch with me and let me know how you enjoy it. And then you can meet with me in New York, and I'd love to meet with you. So thank you so much for this opportunity. If anybody has any questions, please just go into the chat and ask questions, if that's okay with the owners of the group.
Of course. So just want to get to some of our audience here. Does anyone have any questions for Sue? Any things that they would like to ask her? Is John Scala here? Would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. So any questions for Sue?
Sophia has her hand raised.
Oh, yeah. So Sophia, please go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, Sue. I just wanted to know, how can someone develop their own perfume? Like, can they come to you and you can work with them to develop it? And, you know, they might be developing it for, say, a small audience, so to speak, because of course they're not going to be developing it for, you know, a big department store right away, you know, because they're probably just starting. But is there like a big minimum they have to purchase from you or something like that?
So, Sophia, that's a great question. So many companies, excuse me, many companies do require a minimum. They require a minimum of, you know, I don't know, 5 or 10 or 50 kilos of oil. They require 10,000 units of glass or bottles. which is prohibitive for a small company wanting to get close. So I have actually found companies that are willing to offer small quantities, and you don't have to go into this huge amount, which is very onerous and very prohibitive. So I am able to get small quantities. So what I do is I help people create their own fragrance. They meet with me. I take them on a fragrance journey. We create, I show them all the different fragrances that I have, and then they actually select the 3 or 4 blends that they love, and that becomes their fragrance. And then once they have their fragrance, that they show it around to their friends and their family, and they say, yes, this is it. They come back to me, and I can help them with bottles, with packaging, with distribution, and so on. But you know, my strength is helping people discover and find their own custom scent. And then from there, if they want me to help them from a consulting standpoint, I can help them. But
So,
I don't have big minimums at all.
So how
great.
much do you charge for a service like this, so people would understand? Just offhand, yeah.
So to really help people create their own custom fragrance and to do a whole consultation, I charge anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500. I know some people charge $2,500 and $5,000, and it's a lot more. I feel for people who are just getting started, I want it to be, you know, affordable for them. So but still I have to account for my time and my expertise.
So are you making everything in the United States, or are you outsourcing things somewhere else?
It's all in the United States. I do have some of my, I'll show you some of the bottles, or should I say atomizers that I use. So I love the fact that everything is, I like things to be interactive, and I like things to be environmentally friendly, and I don't like to throw things away, and I don't like excess packaging. So I have 3 small atomizers, and these are fun, and they're actually refillable, and they twist and they swivel. So I happen to love the fact that they twist and swivel, and they're refillable. So when the fragrance is finished, you can just refill them. And I have larger sizes as well, which I have it in the gold and the black. Again, twist and swivel. I think it's fun to be able to twist and swivel in the black and the gold designer, the rose gold, and then the wonderful brushed black that men happen to like. And then I have nice sachets. I don't use out of cartons. I just hate the fact that so much paper is being used. So I have beautiful sachets in the purple, the black, and then I have this one for the little ones. So, but if people don't want to use, you know, my bottles, I can help them find their own bottles and their own packaging.
So when people say perfumes are organic, right? What does that mean does that mean no alcohol in them? Can you just give us some more understanding? Because I keep hearing of people saying that they want to go completely organic. What is your take on that?
Well, you know, anything coming from nature is basically organic, where there's no pesticides. So I don't know if, honestly, many fragrances and ingredients, some ingredients are organic, but most fields and most you know, the lavenders and the rose and the jasmines and all these beautiful ingredients, I'm sure have certain pesticides to take away the whether it's you know, the insects or whatever it is that's going to affect the ingredients. So I don't really know about a perfume being organic. I know that many perfumes are natural. It used to be everything was natural and came from nature. Now many fragrances are being made synthetically and are using diluents. And the idea is that people want organic to be, you know, free of pesticides, free of diluents, free of something. But the very nature of perfume has water and alcohol and essential oils. So the truth is, I'm not really sure. It might just be a marketing term that people are bandying around.
May I say something concerning that, Sue?
Please, yes.
first of all, my name is John, and I think you're beautiful to be in the
Oh,
industry for as
thank
long
you.
as you have. God bless you.
God bless me is right. I'm just starting out and I've been in it for 43 years.
My God, my God. Well, I'm on the same page. I'm probably around the same age you are. But the point I want to make is, I think people who want organic perfumes, it's impossible. Number one, they'd have to use an absolute oil or an essential oil, and that's the purest you're going to get, because once you start mixing, and you have to mix the water and the alcohol, and then the alcohol, of course, is not organic or
Right.
pure. So, I think it's a misnomer. I think if people want that kind of a scent, then they have to do, an absolute. But I have left my details with you, Sue. I do want to discuss with you some things out of India, um, because that's where I am at the moment. And
Okay.
I have worked with Estee Lauder on a project in India with a company um, called Forest Essentials, and it was a minority shareholding position. So I want to talk to you about I'll look at your websites, I'll get more involved in what you're doing, and then discuss further with you. I have another question, Sue. Do you have any experience in the skincare field?
I do. When I was at Lancome as marketing director for fragrance and men's skincare, fragrance for Lancome at that time was such a small percent of the total. There
Right.
was just one fragrance called Maginoire. So I was the marketing director for fragrance on Maginoire, and it was so small, they wanted to introduce a men's line. So I learned about cosmetics and skincare for men, and actually went to Paris and launched a wonderful skincare line for men called Programme program for men, program on. And I love skincare. So I have some knowledge of skincare. And I also know that fragrance is used in skincare either as a masking agent, even though some companies say they don't want fragrance to be in skincare. Sometimes we use fragrance to be a masking agent. So
right.
please, I don't see all the comments. So if you are interested in sending me information, I'll give you my email. It's you can send it to sue@suephillips.com, and it's double L. So please send me your comments or your questions directly, because I can't see all the chat comments.
Okay, I will. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Sue.
Thank you.
It's been an
Okay, so
excellent
we have a
presentation.
question from Natalie.
Go ahead.
Hello, Sue. Can you hear me
Hi.
okay?
Yes, thank you. I can.
Hello there. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And I think I'm enjoying your presentation thus far. I'm a style writer and skincare beauty writer from London. And normally when I review a fragrance, I tend to focus on how it makes a woman or man feel, how it reflects one's personality. So, what would you say your signature notes are, and how do they reflect your personality?
Oh, what a good question. Thank you, Natalie.
No problem.
Well, it's so individual, as you know, and many people don't know what fragrance type they like, what fragrance family they like. So I actually developed a scent personality questionnaire, which is on my website. It's scenterprises.com, SCENTERPRISES, like enterprises with scent, so Scenterprises. And there's a quiz. And the reason I do the quiz is because people sometimes just don't know. They say, oh, well, I like, they'll give me the brand. Oh, I like Tom Ford. I like Pareto. But that's not the fragrance family. That's not the type. And I would like to just say that for me, I am tall. I guess I'm bold. I love a fragrance that reflects who I am, but I also love something very feminine and something memorable. So my fragrance preferences are something sort of a lovely green note with sensual florals, but then a sheeper woodsy note in there. So it's sort of, it wafts into femininity, but boldness and something memorable. So if you look at my the blends that I have on my website, you'll see all the blends that I have. And I know Natalie wants to ask a question. So Natalie did ask a question.
Thank you very much. I'll leave my details in the chat, but yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic.
I won't be able to see all the chat, so just send me your email, send me your information via email.
Don't
Yes.
worry, Sue, we'll give you all the information. So
wonderful.
Fashionablyin, we connect people. So I just see that we Lowly Beauty, I think you wanted to ask a question.
I want to go back, Sue. I don't know if you remember me. We've crossed paths. I was also at L'Oreal. We have a lot of connect the dots. I've been in the industry over 30 years, so not quite as long as you, but a lot of. I started my career actually at Christian Dior.
I do remember you. Yes, now I see you. How are you?
Lovely, thank you. It's so nice to be connected, and I have such admiration for your expertise and your vision, and have lots of ideas. We should definitely collaborate. But I wanted to go back and by the way, just for everyone else, I am Tina, the founder of Lolly Beauty. We're the world's first zero waste organic beauty brand. We're zero waste because we upcycle from organic food. We formulate without water. Very interesting when you think about fragrance. We use food grade ingredients. We package in a fully sustainable way, including recycled, recyclable, and home compostable ingredients in materials, including we're growing mushroom for our outer packaging. So we're really the leaders. There's no greenwashing. I think the conversation about fragrance is super important because it's sort of like the last platform in beauty that hasn't really, that and professional makeup or professional hair care, because synthetics really lend in all of those categories to the long lasting, to the sort of development of the product and making sure that it delivers. But I want to go back to what John and you were chatting about organic, because it's something we've thought a lot about, is how do we get in that category. And by chance, when COVID hit, and I think this is a really interesting exploration to talk to you about, we when there was no hand sanitizer in the world, I was using, because we never used water, we were using witch hazel or distillates as any type of aqueous base. So I had that. I had vegetable glycerin. And we use and source, which I think you'd find fascinating, organic, steam distilled, food grade, basically moonshine alcohols that are infused with scents. So everything from pear to lychee, they're made and they have this beautiful aroma. And we then infused botanicals into this mixture. So cloves and the rinds of mandarin oranges. And we created a very powerful hand sanitizer, completely food grade, but the scent, it is like a perfume.
Wonderful.
And so I
That's
think
amazing.
there are, and it's 100% organic. So
Wow,
I think
that's
there are
wonderful.
ways to do this, but it's just, we have to think out of the box. Now, what we don't, it doesn't have, it's kind of like an eau de toilette, right? It doesn't have the longevity. You don't smell it on your skin 3 hours later. You would in your hair, but not. So, the longevity is really the issue. And I was just curious, who do you think are the leaders in, because I find a lot of the fragrance houses are so behind the times in this initiative. Who do you feel, if you can say, you think is leading this clean meets organic meets non-synthetic fragrance initiative?
I think those are all oxymorons. Look, what I will say to you is that there are so many beautiful perfumes that have been reformulated and are not offering the same beauty that they once were, because through reformulation, adding synthetics, lowering the cost of goods and lowering the ingredients, I get complaints and headaches. I get people telling me how many times they get headaches and allergies from fragrances that they've been wearing for years and years and years, and suddenly the fragrance has changed or they can't get it. And I don't really think too many companies are looking at organic ways and beautiful ways to reformulate. So it's the niche companies, the niche brands and the niche companies that are really going way beyond that to really offer beautiful fragrances that are maybe a little bit more expensive, but really offer a beautiful formula for the consumer. But the amount of people who have said to me that their fragrance that they have worn for years has changed, it's giving them headaches and allergies. I'm literally quite horrified, because I would say honestly that the industry needs to really sharpen their pencils and really come up with better ways of coming up with beautiful fragrances that do not offer, give people headaches and allergies. And it's all to do with, the cost of goods. They want to minimize the ingredients, minimize the quality, and to me, I put more money into my ingredients. And as a result, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never had one person complain of headaches or allergies. And I give them a lot of fragrances to sample in a small amount of time, in a small space. And nobody has ever complained of headaches and allergies. And so I think the industry has to liven up, really, truthfully, because it's a turnoff. And the other thing is that so many people used to be attacked in the stores, and people said, don't spray, don't spray, don't spray. And that is not happening now because of the pandemic. But it's that negative association that has been given to fragrance which should be a beautiful enhancement. I mean, fragrance should enhance you, should beautify you, should make you feel so wonderful. And the negative association is, oh, don't spray.
Yep.
So, I think it's education, and I think it's also a question of having people like you, having people like me, having people in this format promote and talk about beautiful fragrances, and that, we will help change and shift the trajectory of the fragrance industry, I hope.
Well, I have a lot of ideas. I'm going to call you, and we're going to, because I have some ideas of things we could do. And I think they need to be poked. I mean, when we launched in March of 2018 and we said zero waste beauty, the entire industry was like, what? And no one cared. And now every single thing we're doing, every multinational has now started an initiative. So I'm very, very proud of that. But the last bastion is fragrance.
Right.
And I've even been approached, which is fascinating. Some of the major fragrance houses approached us, identified us, and said, we want to work with you because you're the leaders and we love your vision. And then when we got into it, they couldn't. They didn't even know how. So I can't wait for us to
Where are you based?
New York. Actually, my office is 43rd and Madison. So So I will connect directly to you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Laurie. Nice to see you. Thank you.
So it's great to see that we have so many people from New York over here, and we're making connections. And that's what we at Fashionablyin, when people connect because of us, that makes us feel good, because that's what we do and that's what we stand for. So just moving to the other part of the world right now, I'm going to bring a young gentleman who has just started making perfumes at home, and he's just got a home business which he's just recently launched in India. His name is Vineet, and maybe he's going to tell you a little bit about his journey, and then Sue, maybe you could give him some feedback and some inputs. Hi, Vineet, are you here?
Hi everyone, how are you?
Hi Vineet, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sue. How are you all? You all good?
All good, thank you.
Thank you. So I have just started with making perfumes at home from essential oils, where some are organic and some are chemical based. Now, why do we use chemical based organic oils is because some fragrances, some oils are too expensive for a mass to reach. India being a market which is a developing country, people wants to use a lot of fragrances, but they can't afford fragrances like Creed or Chanel No. 5 So we have to give them options, something very similar at a cost which they can afford. That is how you connect to the mass. That is how we connect throughout the world. Now, there is a niche market for people. You can custom make, you can give them as well according to their budget. But what we do is we try and keep the budget as low, and we try to give all the fragrances in the world which are there right now. We make them at home at a very low cost. So a fragrance, I would say 100 ml FOB would be around $6.5, $7 each. That's it. If you
That's
want,
very low.
that's very low. And if you brand it, if you take volumes, this goes lower and lower and lower and low. So we can make perfumes as low as around $3.5 each 100 ml.
Yeah,
That would be,
but what kind of percentage of essential oil are you putting in that?
it depends. Every perfume, like what kind, we are completely bespoke about everything. Okay. So what kind of lasting do you want? What kind of, if you want a lasting more than 48 hours, we give you that kind of lasting with lasting agents, which are used separately than the essential oils. We use different base for that. Now, if on a majority basis, if someone like ABC would come and tell me, I want to use organic perfumes, how do I use that? So what would we do here is we would give them an offer, as we get rose essential oil very cheap here in India, correct? So fragrances which are very floral rose based, we give them that with the beeswax essential oil that can be easily sprayed. So beeswax essential oil is organic, it is 100% pure, it is non-harmful, no impact to the skin, nowhere. So this is how you go about at the same price with different aspects of making fragrances. So I can just show you some example here. Turn on the camera. So this is how we do the branding. This is very custom made. Here we have all the in-house fragrances made for males, females, and adults. You can see golden bottles. So this is how we brand. We give custom branding as well. And these all are reusable. So if you want to reuse these perfumes to promote recycling, to promote reusable things, we give spray bottles which can be opened, easily poured in, refilled, and used again at a very low cost. So all the costs, so we give them on liters and liters basis. The perfume works that way. So the branding is one step.
So if you've heard of something Eden, like Eden Perfumes in London, they have a store.
Yeah, so they are basically also doing the same thing.
Concept to that.
Yeah, so they are much more organized in terms because they have a showroom out in London, first of all, and they have technology flask, which will have a particular amount of dispensers of essential oil and everything. So they sell it for around, say, $10. I suppose the price is 10 pounds or $10, right? With Eden's. So they go as low, they just change a few notes of all the designer perfumes in the world. You give them Chanel No. 5, they'll flip a few notes up and down and they'll sell that at $10. So that is how Eden's work out in London. I was there myself in London for 2 years in Elephant and Castle. And that is how I saw Eden's those days. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. It sounds really interesting what you're doing. I hope you do well. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We are coming up with a lot of essential oils. We are coming in with aflorescent waters, which are tonic waters with all the flowers and fragrances organic based. So you have a list of around 100 tonic water. You can use it on your face, body. We are coming up with body butters. So those are avocado butters, blueberry butters, mango butters, green tea butter, tea butter, coconut butter edible grade with scrubs. So all these are pure organic products at a very cheap rate. So that is how we want to go throughout the world. I'm planning to even launch my company out in London. We're just trying to work out things in London. My real brother is there, so he's working there as well.
That's great. Gosh, well, good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What are you guys into? You are into perfumes. Sorry, I joined the meeting late. You are into perfumes as well?
Who, me?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You can see the recording. You can see the recording.
I'll do that later. No worries.
Of the event, and so I just want to get to some of the other audience members over here. Does anyone else have any questions? Sophia, do you have any questions, or anyone else would like to ask something, or would anyone else want to introduce themselves right now?
I could ask a question, a quick one. I know that you were explaining about the cost. Would that include like a sample of the fragrance once you finish developing it for Sue?
Is that for me? Is that a question for me?
Yes, like for when you pay the money, would that include maybe a sample of the fragrance?
Oh
So
yes,
that
more than a sample. Yes, I definitely it's usually between a 2/3 or a 1 ounce bottle, depending on what bottle they like. Yes, it does definitely include a custom fragrance that they have, uh, that they want based on the ingredients that they've chosen. Yes, definitely.
excellent, because I have two clients already interested.
Excellent. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so my question now is for John. John, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
So you had mentioned to me a little earlier about your and you had mentioned a little earlier about your association, I think, with Estee Lauder, one of these companies. So just tell us more because you were saying something really interesting and then I think you got cut off. Why don't you just go ahead and just finish what you were saying earlier?
What I was saying is that Estee Lauder came to the India market in a minority shareholding position
Okay.
and worked with a company called Forest Essentials, and it's a skincare company, but they also had developed through Estee Lauder and their contacts a perfume. But the perfume they developed for Forest Essentials was completely pure, much like we were listening earlier to Lolly Beauty. But in India we have specialists that go back for centuries, and they're called atars, and they are the ones who basically distill all the. First of all, they normally use essential oils, and I'm sorry, absolute oils,
Mhm.
and they distill them via the water process. So it's a highly skilled technique, and what they do mainly is seldom use any alcohol in the base. It's all natural, absolutes, and mixing with other essential oils. But if it's a floral, they don't mix it with another floral. They mix it with a base oil that they use. And again, those base oils are always organic in origin. That's all I had to say. But Sue, I will connect with you, and I will
Wonderful.
collect. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Just to some of our other audience, Shaltut, I know that we cut you off earlier. I mean, please feel free to finish what you were saying. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's my pleasure to introduce our perfume. We just launched two labels in the purebred, and it's 30 ml. Also, we are very keen on the environment, and we have a policy. It's called Max Wayne. So we launched one for the gentlemen and one for ladies. We share the same concerns that Sue just explained, because when we go in road shows and we face the same reaction from customers that don't spray, please. And we've been through this across the whole UK. Currently, we are expanding. We are trying to spread the word of what is the difference between organic, synthetic, and artificial. And the problem we are all facing, or just being impacted, is the use of artificial chemicals and fragrances. So we are working on a university initiative that is directed to the consumers and to the olfactories, so we can have both on board. So we are trying to educate the people. We are trying to launch a YouTube channel. I know a lot of information there on the internet, but we are trying to go with a different approach, that we go for people, normal people, and we train them and we ask them to speak. So we are not bringing in just professionals like all the people here. No, we are bringing the real customer, the real user of the perfume, and we ask them to speak about their experiences, those who face some sort of allergy or migraine sometimes from using artificial fragrances or perfumes. So currently we have 8 labels, and we have Eau de Parfum, and we have Parfum the Absolute, and the purebred, which is a 30% expensive and exotic oils, including some very oriental, because there's a trend when the oud or the agarwood launched 10 years ago. It is continuing. We are trying to outsource jasmine. We are trying to outsource red roses, other fresh, and we are educating people. We completely abolished the wrapping. Now we ship all our products without wrapping, with a seal, to make sure that the consumer, thank you very much, that understand that it is a new product. So we also following the same, like Sue explained, all our bottles are refillable. We don't use any more, the shroods and whatever is prohibiting the customer from reuse or making benefit, even decoration. We are giving them some ideas how to reuse the bottle and decoration, not just with perfume. So our designers working with the manufacturers and the mold people to create more ideas how to use the bottles, not to throw it away. So this is simply what we do, and we are looking forward with the university we launched to tackle this problem, to spread the word, to make people understand how their perfume actually works, why it is not preferable to use something, they call it heavy, while going to your work or your university. So the ethics and the etiquette. So it is very important to spread the word, because yes, there is a stereotype about the eau de cologne and the aftershave, especially aftershave in the UK. It's number 1 for men, while this is a 48 billion pounds market, and yes, and after the pandemic, actually, we have a technology arm. We started developing a machine that this machine is capable of testing the perfume. It is not a vending machine. It's capable with the mobile app to recommend if you're buying for yourself or for someone as a gift or whatever. So the machine is capable of testing in a complete private environment, and it's universal. Anyone can access it, and it will dispense the retail box. It's capable of exchanging the retail box. So we are trying to go the extra mile with the retail industry. We are trying to make a pandemic-proof retail solution, that because we know with the closure of all the retail spaces, our industry was hit badly, especially for new launches, because people must smell the fragrance. They can't buy it online. And of course, it's very difficult to buy and exchange like the cloth, like the fashion industry. So this is in general what Odiferous does.
So are you selling just in the UK, or are you selling around the world as well?
Well, currently we sell in the UK. We are looking to expand our exports. So we are of course, we are dealing now with Amazon brands. So we are launching in the EU. The Brexit has a very strong negative impact on the export business. So we are trying with Amazon because they have access, but we are trying to launch in the Middle East as well. We are trying to keep the logistics very, very close to the UK. So maybe next year we will be able to go to North America, US and Canada. So now we are well established for about 6 months in operation, because again, it's 1 year and we are a new a startup. We just launched it in November 2019. Then, you know, the pandemic came and we just restarting again after, you know, removing all the lockdown in the UK just in May and June. So we are hopeful.
I think we lost you because your connection's a little weak.
So I'm going to have to head off soon because I have a meeting starting at 12 and I have to get to it.
Yeah, no, I just have one last question for you all, is about the margins. So just people would understand when, sorry, Shantu, we'll just get back to you in a second. So,
sure.
So like when someone launches a perfume from like wholesale to retail, what is the standard margins that
I think it completely depends on what kind of market are you targeting though. I mean, fragrances with for.
No, I was just talking to Sue. My question was to you was basically when we have, what is the margins, like the general margin when from wholesale to retail? So say when you sell it's like 2 point, like for example, in fashion, it's like 2.8 that they would mark up so much. What is like the general margins from like the retailer to the wholesaler in the perfume business? Anyone?
You mean the wholesaler to the retailer?
Yes, yeah.
It's usually a 40% markup. So as a wholesaler, you know, whatever your cost of goods are, you sell it to the retailer and then mark it up 40%.
Okay. So
So
that's
if something is like $100, they'll buy it at $60 and they'll mark it up to $100.
Okay. So it's not that much as fashion, because fashion, obviously shoes, fashion, all of these products have much bigger. I know beauty usually is again 100%. I just had, you have one more question from Victoria, who's from Africa, who's very keen to understand about distribution in Africa. Please go ahead, Victoria.
Thank you so much. My question is to just say, actually, I want to appreciate you for organizing this platform. And I would like to just say that if anybody is interested in penetrating the African market and Middle East, Fabius is there. I mean, we can help them bridge the markets in these regions in Middle East and in Africa. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where are you in Africa? Where are you in Africa?
I am originally from Zimbabwe. I studied in South Africa.
I'm from South Africa.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's
Yes.
really nice.
I knew I recognized your accent. You're my African sister.
Yes, we'll talk behind the scenes. We'll get contact and talk. Yeah. So we will also work with Fashion Weeks, and in Zimbabwe, we actually have an event in July for a fashion designer who's having a one-man show because he's going to Paris in September. So I was just also saying, if any of the perfume brands would like to maybe partner with us for this event, you know, like when we're preparing the goodie bags that we put for people. I mean, that's a very good way of reaching out to the market, because the event that we are planning is for an exclusive market. It's for the high-end market, the high-end users. So we're going to be having people from the corporate sector. We're going to be having people from the, many African people are business people, they're entrepreneurs, people who've got their monies. So those are the people that we are going to be having for the event. So anybody who would want to try the African market and the Middle East market,
I would be quite interested in that, because the samples you are looking at also to distribute, we would have around more than 350 fragrances to show at one time. And we have such samples, I'll show you, to even go through the customers, even put the samples to them so that everyone gets a hint of what they are actually buying. We have something for even people who go on tracks, who are very rough with their daily routine. So this is something which we have arranged on a pen system. It's completely unbreakable, reusable, and it is as cheap as just $1.50.
Nice.
So $1.50 to $2 depends on how many ml do you fit in those. So reaching out to the people in Africa, see, I mean, Africa is a huge place. Africa wouldn't buy on an entirely expensive perfumes together, right? I mean, if people,
It depends. I'm from Africa, but I wouldn't want to
the
buy.
majority, I'm just talking about the majority market. You get me? I mean,
Okay.
people from South Africa, they are more niche on a lot of things, right? Than other parts of Cameroon and here and there. You got my point?
Yeah.
So targeting major a country as a whole, I think perfumes with a cheap rate a little, but with a very good long lasting. Africans are very hardworking people, okay? So
Yeah.
I mean, they would really want perfumes which should last more than 20 hours, 25 hours at a cost which is as low as designers. You got
Do
me?
perfumes really last as long as 20 hours on the skin anymore?
Not skin, we use for clothes. So basically we make perfumes just for clothes, you know, because you sweat it out. So when you buy such expensive fragrance, and in countries like Africa where it is too much of heat, yeah, people sweat it out. Then there is actually no point using such expensive perfumes.
I don't believe in wearing perfumes on the clothes. I'm sorry, I just don't.
No.
It depends. It
I agree,
depends, you know.
I don't
Yeah, yeah.
believe in that.
Say in countries like London, in Europe, okay, you wear those kind of fragrances, the climate is very beautiful. You see, I'm sitting in India, I'm drenching with sweat, yeah. So you have to see what kind of people you target, what country you
Right.
target,
That's true.
depending. So depending even the cost.
I think it's also, I think Sue is referring more also to the price points. You know, he's looking at a very different customer. It was just to get a, you know, for us at Fashionablyin, we like to get a global perspective, and we like to get.
But we are completely bespoke about that as well. I mean, if a particular person does want something which is very next to original, okay, but at a very cheap rate. Say if I'm giving something for around $7, I can have something for even $15, which is way more beautiful in the quality terms. You get my point? But see, majority of the market throughout the world in a developing nation, what people in terms of quality would look at is just the amount and the time the fragrance lasts.
Yeah.
Here, the quality doesn't depend on how much cheese the pizza has, because it's surely not going in your mouth. So it should not be harmful. It should not give you headaches. It should, you know, it should not be impactful to your skin. Those are few things if you notice. I think perfume is a beautiful industry, you know.
Just now,
yes, absolutely.
To cater everyone.
Okay, so just on another note, we're going to come towards our end of our webinar.
Yeah.
Today. It's been great to have a global perspective from so many people. I mean, if I know Sue has to go, but we can continue for another few more minutes.
Yeah.
Like to stay, but I just want to say thank you again, Sue. It was a real pleasure to have you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to be in. Wonderful
Thank you so much.
to meet you.
Wonderful meeting you. Take care.
You know, just
beautiful day ahead.
And just, you know,
wonderful.
Just so people know, we at Fashionablyin, we connect people. I mean, we have a virtual program that's running where if anyone wants to grow their business, like you see over here, we get people from all over the world, and we're great at doing this. So if anybody's interested in growing their business, getting contacts, growing their business to different regions, and I mean, like we're sitting from all parts of the world, we have distribution, and we've been doing for many years. And the same way how we got so many people here, we can help brands like pretty much grow. And now back to Sue, if you want to leave, please go ahead. Yeah, I'm just,
Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been so wonderful. It's so lovely to meet everybody. And thank you for your questions. Thank you for this honor of being your guest. I appreciate it. And please stay in touch. And I would love to hear from you. And I promise I respond to all my emails.
Okay, so
thank you, Sue.
Send you the recording and all that information.
Very soon. Take care.
Thank you so much. And please send me the questions. I would love to read them and be in touch with you.
Sure,
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
So moving to Long Hair, London. I knew you were here, one of our first guests for today. Okay, so we're going to go on for a few more minutes. Why don't you I know you're a little, you're not in perfumes, but you're still connected in the industry. Yeah. But
yeah, it was very interesting to listen into everybody and everybody's different perspective on their niche market. My niche market, obviously, not personally, is long for long hair. And I've looked after long hair exclusively since 1981 in London, starting originally in Harrods and moving to Fortnum and Mason and then several different places. And then, as somebody mentioned, leaving the EU, I then, instead of importing product, I decided to develop my own, and listening to all of my clients, what they actually wanted, which was not having parabens, sulfates, silicones, and also my bottles, yeah, they're made from sugarcane oil. So, and all my packaging is from recycled cardboard. So, and it's, of course, flat bottles, goes to the letterbox. That's what it's designed to do. It is exclusively designed for long hair, really. Anything from shoulder length to knee length hair. And yeah, I literally launched it as we went into lockdown last March. So it's been interesting. But yeah, I'm sure with our friends' help here, we're going to expand. Okay.
Sure, you would.
I
just have one question for you, long hair
while I've been
I just
standing
have
here,
one
I've actually
question
had
for you.
sold about half a dozen products already. It all comes through on my phone on the website. And yeah,
I just have one question for you.
Sorry?
I have one question for you, yeah?
Yeah.
So is the active ingredient in all your products minoxidil or prosapil?
Is it? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Is it minoxidil and prosapil?
Minoxidil? No. No, it's not. It's not scalp activated. It's actually looking after the hair once it's grown.
Okay.
So, Onika.
Sorry, I will have to take this. I'm sorry.
No problem. Onika, what would you like to tell us your feedback from today's webinar? Any thoughts from listening to everybody?
Yes, I loved all the chats that we were having, the networking, and I would love to connect with each one of y'all. Because as I was listening to Miss Sue and Vivian, and I have my mind, I was having ideas about things that I want to do and kind of act with everybody. So it was a real pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you.
So just
It was a
moving.
pleasure.
So John, would you like to tell us a little more? Because I see Vineet, I see a good connection between John and Vineet. You know, I see both of you like are in India right now. You know, John?
Hey, Tarun, I want to ask, is Tina still there?
Tina, no, Tina doesn't seem to be on here, but we have her contact. Don't worry, we'll connect you. Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic. I also have to go. I'm so sorry, but I am falling asleep.
No problem. So I just see that two more people. Atoy Skincare. Would you like to introduce yourself or say something? Atoy Skincare. Poleseti Prasuna. Anyone here? Okay, no problem. So once again, I want to say thank you all for being here. It was a real pleasure, very interesting webinar today about perfumes. And just before we leave, is there anyone else that would like to give any words of wisdom or any closing notes? Shaltut, did I say that right, sir?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So,
well, it's you just need to believe in what you do and just follow the science and meet customers, and don't underestimate the network of both vendors and suppliers and network of distributions. You just meet with everyone, listen to everyone. You will have a lot of information to learn from.
So what is the pricing of your product, like your perfumes? What are they priced at?
Well, we follow a pricing theory. Our entry, the pricing point is 70% below the well-established brand. So, for an instance, if the purebred or the Absolute is selling for 200 pounds, so we sell 70% below this with exceeding quality. So it's this new business model is slashing or abolishing the investment, the inflation in prices coming from high street ads and extravagant packaging and unexplainable logistics. And so we do real exchange of value. So our proposal is we bring something really very true, very real. So we give very attention to details. So our fragrances are we use essential oils and attar oils only available to the top 10 customized, like Sue, where just explaining the Facebook or the customized bring the Rolls-Royce value with a BMW price. So this is in few words to explain our policy.
And do you manufacture everything in the UK, or is it outsourced? Is it made in the UK?
I'm sorry, the line breaks. Would you please repeat that?
No, I said, is your product made in the UK or is it outsourced? Are you making it in the UK or are you outsourcing?
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. I said,
no, it is made in the UK.
Okay, made in the UK.
Yeah, I just got, yes, it is made in the UK. Yes, it is made in the UK, but actually we outsource the high-tech fragrance from different countries, because, you know, Germany and Switzerland are on top of the factories. Unfortunately, UK has no top-notch engineering, only in London, and it's a very small lab. But we have to outsource the oils from across the world. We deal with many countries, and for the high-tech part of the manufacturing process, we deal with other countries. But everything else, the engineering, the design, everything happens in the UK.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So great. So thank you all for being here. Leave your contact details. I see there's can be some synergies, Shaltut, with Vineet, because he's got. I mean, I don't know if you're ever looking out for someone who can. You know, I know that he can obviously try and meet your price points, but no harm in being in touch and leaving your contact details. So let everyone leave their contact details in the chat. And once again, I want to thank all of you for being here. And, you know, I hope to see you at our webinars, and thank you all for all your support.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. God bless.
Thank
We
you.
all meet soon. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.